When did you first know you wanted to play music?
When I was about 5 years old, I was strolling through my neighbor's house and they had a piano. They were one of the only people in the county who had a piano. My mother was walking by and she heard me playing it. She told my dad, she said, "Elmo, he's going to be a natural-born pianist." And my father said, "I don't know about that, but he's going to be a great piano player."
Where did you go to school? Weren't you going to be a preacher?
I went to Southwestern Bible School until they asked me to leave for playing My God Is Real, Boogie Woogie style on the piano.
You were expelled from school. How do you think that helped your career?
I got kicked out of school for singing music that was unheard of at the time, and after getting expelled, I started playing music at clubs. The funny thing was that a few years later, the churches were playing music just like mine.
Was there anyone that influenced your music?
Yeah, a guy known as Moon Mullican. He was a country and western singer, songwriter, and pianist. Moon had a style of balladeering never seen before, but his greatest influence was his hillbilly boogie style that I admired and tried to attain. He had a real swing to his music.
Through your career, you seem to have an extensive list of wives. Would you care to tell me a little bit about them?
I don't like to talk about this, but here it goes. I've been married 7 times, and I married my first wife, Dorothy, my preacher's daughter, when I was about 17, which ended in only 1 year. My third wife almost ended my career. She was my second cousin and was only 13, and my previous divorce had not been yet finalized. The country couldn't deal with that. I had a wife who drowned in a swimming pool, and one that died in a methadone overdose. I am currently married to my 7th wife. Her name is Judy. I had a total of 4 children. 1 child drowned at the age of 3 and another at the age of 18.
In 1958, you were blacklisted because of your marriage. How did you deal with that?
Well, I didn't back away from the choices I made. Most doors were slammed shut. I went from getting $10,000 a night to $250. Quite a disappointment. But I didn't give up. It was a difficult time, but in 1961 I recorded a remake of Ray Charles' What Did I Say? And I started a comeback. However, I left the rock and roll days behind and turned to country music.
Were you bothered by people criticizing your work?
Criticism didn't mean anything to me because I had enough talent to overcome it. I always did what I wanted to as long as I thought it felt right.
What do you think about Elvis?
I think Elvis Presley let rock and roll down. He started sounding like Bing Crosby. He definitely let rock and roll down.
I've heard a lot about the $1 Million Quartet. What was that all about?
Well, it sort of all happened by chance. Carl Perkins of Sunset Studios was recording, and I was asked to help out. Early afternoon, Elvis Presley, the biggest name in showbiz, just dropped by and came in. He started jamming, and then Johnny Cash showed up and joined in. The studio recorded the entire jam session. I played most of the piano, and Elvis was on lead vocals, and I did a few duets. News got out, and we were billed the $1 Million Quartet. They released several albums containing 46 musical tracks. What a trip.
One of your many accomplishments was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Can you tell me about that?
It was a great honor, one that I will never forget. In 1986, I, along with 9 great musicians such as Elvis Presley, Ray Charles, Chuck Berry, and Buddy Holly, were the first to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. What an honor.
How do you want to be remembered?
I've had a lot of ups and downs in my career and marriage. When they look back on me, I want them to remember not for all my wives, although I've had a few, I want them to remember me simply for my music. Because I played My God Is Real Boogie Wiggly style on the piano.
Boogie Wiggly.
School until they asked me to leave. Sorry.
Where did you go to school? How do you think you dealt with it?
You dealt with it?
You're blacklisted because of your... What? Weren't you going to be a preacher?
Okay, can we take a break?
You're blacklisted because of your marriage. How do you deal with that? How do you want to be remembered?
No.
How do you want to be remembered?